these according to a S to D tier, D being the worst, S being the best possible companion to actually pick up at that time. So we're going to start in order from in which we encounter these characters. And I'm going to go ahead and then show it the character, give a reason for why they're being rated what they are, and where um, I encountered them and how quickly in the game I encountered them. So let's start off with the first character that we can encounter, which is right out of the Vault 111, which is Companion Ivy. Okay, Companion Ivy is definitely an S tier. And why do I rank her an S tier? She has great dialogue. She has built-in quests. She is a good fighter. She's amazing once you do her innate quest, which is hyper combat. She can carry a ton of stuff. She's tanky as all get out. She can use almost any weapon in the game, and she's got a pretty good AI. Plus, she's just fun to be around. But be warned, she is definitely not safe for work. You can try to make her safe for work, but trust me, she will let loose with an occasional bon mot that will just go ahead and blister your ears. And if you turn off her profanity filters, trust me, is you can pick them up a mile away. So she likes to talk dirty. So that's Ivy. She is, like I said, right outside of Vault 111. If you just go towards her radio tower, you'll get her quest, and she's a lot of fun to play with. And she's also really good because she actually sticks with you throughout pretty much the entire game, offers you incredible conversation. So she is a must have. She does take up a vanilla companion slot. So the only other one that you can bring along with her, the only other companions you can bring along with her are either Heather Casdin or any of the Depravity OAR non-vanilla characters. So just be warned, is she hogs the spot. So that's Ivy, and everything about her is designed to be just have her running with you from uh, day one. Okay, the next character we encounter is going to be in Sanctuary, and that is Kate. Kate, I like Kate's look. I like some of her conversations. Um, but I'm going to give her a B because even though she does have some decent conversation, she doesn't really have any quests or anything else to do. And she's an okay fighter. She looks good. So I'm gonna put her in the B. And then she can be found in the root cellar in Sanctuary, which is once you go into Sanctuary, there'll be a blue house, and the root cellar will be right behind it, and that is Kate. So in that same cellar, if you have her loaded and you have to load her in place of companion Ivy or our S tier companion, is Insane Ivy. And Insane Ivy, I'm going to give a B to. I just found her a little bit more off putting than regular Ivy. Her quest to acquire her is quite a ways out. You have to go all the way out to MedTech Research to get her voucher. Um, her conversation is a lot dirtier than Ivy's, and it's a lot more varied. But right now is depending on where you're playing and who you're playing around, it's pretty raunchy. So I liked that about her, but what I didn't like is she doesn't seem to be progressing in her quest the same way Ivy did. So it's taken me forever, almost 20 some levels, to get her to her first tier quest, and I'm not really quite sure why that is. She also too occupies a vanilla slot, so she can't be run with uh, any other regular companion like Codsworth or Dogmeat. So that is an issue. All the ones I've shown here right now are taking the place of a vanilla character such as Codsworth or Dogmeat. So that then brings me to Codsworth, who is also found in Sanctuary. He takes a little bit longer. You have to kind of talk to him for a while and do his quest before you can actually activate him, unlike the other companions here. So I'm going to put Codsworth. He's a really good fighter and he carries stuff and he's very tanky. I'm going to put him in an A tier. Plus, also, too, you can actually level Codsworth. Since he is a vanilla character that comes with the game, you can level him with cheat panel. So you can get him and get his perk very quickly that way. But Codsworth, not the greatest talking companion, but he is a really, really solid add if you just want to go ahead and have a companion who's helping you fight and carry stuff. Um, and his dialogue's not bad. You can dress him up. It's kind of fun. He's just a decent, solid addition. I'm still kind of torn. He's more leans to me towards B, but I think his combat versatility is enough that he's a really, really good ad for a starting player. So then we move out of Sanctuary, and the rest of the characters here that I'm going to show you are coming from Concord or Close. So the next character you can go ahead and get is, let's see, Dogmeat. And I'm going to put Dogmeat at an S tier because if you get the right perks with Dogmeat, yeah, the conversation's not great. Now I'm going to put him at A tier. The conversations are not great, but his perks and his ability to bind enemies at a distance is actually really, really excellent. And also, too, he allows you to keep the Lone Wanderer perk. So if you want to play solo and just have and get rid of all these nagging companions, Dogmeat is your guy. He's just faithful. He's loyal. He's involved in one of the quests. He does not have any perk that goes along with him, but he fights well, can bind enemies, and he's just a strong addition because he does not take up a companion slot at all in terms of the Soul Survivor perk. So after that, we then have going into Concord. As soon as you go into Concord, the first house if you move towards it, you'll see some raiders. You fight the raiders and you meet Barb. I'm going to give Barb a C minus tier. I like Barb's look. She's a pretty character. Her conversation options I found were a bit limited, and she was just an okay character to play with. I just didn't get a lot of enjoyment out of her because most of her conversation is like one or two words, and I was having a difficult time progressing her quest along and her affinity along. And I did not see that there is a quest with her to do anything throughout that before I got her to max affinity. So it was she's just an okay character to have, and she fights well. So I'm going to give her a C. All right, so then going from there, the next character I picked up is Spouse Nora. I'm going to give Spouse Nora an A. And I just felt she was a good looking, very strong character, decent dialogue that went along with the story. It was easy to immerse in her. She was a lot of fun to play with. She looked great, and she also fought well. And with CBBE loaded, she was a really, really strong addition because she looked great in her jumpsuit. So just a fun character to play with. I'm looking forward to actually seeing how she interacts later on with the Institute part of the story, since I have not played with her to actually meet Sean, her son. So really decent. She can be found, I believe, at Abernathy Farm, and no quest to pick her up, but just a really, really good companion and decent in combat as well. So after that, in Concord is there are going to be three characters I'm going to say all come from the Depravity quest line, which is in Concord, which you can pick up fairly easily and quickly and do without having to venture outside of Concord. The first one you can pick up is Eden. I'm going to give Eden a really strong B tier. Uh, she's just a believable character. Not a lot of dialogue. She can heal you, which is just amazing. And her best thing is like Dogmeat. She can actually tie up opponents, which is just incredible if you're fighting opponents at a distance. So I'm going to give her a B. You can pick her up right at the start of Depravity. If you haven't gotten the Depravity mod, I highly recommend it. It is a lot of fun, and the characters involved are just amazing. So be aware, though, that it will modify your base game story if you're not careful. So as you play it is a play around for part of the Hancock, uh, John Hancock and Good Neighbor story. So just be aware of that. And it ends up, where basically you become mayor of Diamond City or, I don't know, Good Neighbor. So it is fun though. It's really raunchy and fun. It's got some great new outfits. If you haven't gotten it, look up Depravity in your mod organizer, and you get all of these characters, including Harley, who I'm also going to give a B to because she fights well, looks good, has good conversation, and she's got also quests that you can do with her. Eden also has side quests, but Harley has her own set of quests, which are kind of fun. So Harley's a good pickup, and then Stella, I'm going to put at C tier. She's the last one you can pick up. You can also get Murphy, but you can't get Murphy, who's another character, without going further into the map. But Stella, you can get, and uh, I don't know, Stella, I'm actually going to give a D to. She allows you to basically blow up anything you don't like in the game. So if you want to get rid of a faction, her quest line will take you down there. I just didn't find Stella that engaging to actually play along with. So, and fighting, yeah, not bad. Her she's kind of a depressing character to actually play alongside. So I do very little with Stella in my playthroughs. Okay, so going outside of Concord, who else can we pick up? So right away in Lexington, you can pick up Darlene. I would have given Darlene an S. She looks good, she fights well, she's got a great backstory. I could not for the life of me figure out how to max out her affinity. It was just taking forever. I was trying cheat panel everything. Her quests just don't progress naturally. So great character to have along, looks good, has great conversation at the time. Sometimes she gets a little bit into, one or two words kind of conversations, but she usually has some good comments. So she does, and she's great for immersion. But the fact that her affinity track is just so unfathomable, and I noticed this was a complaint on Reddit, I can't give her an A or an S tier, but is you definitely need to pick her up at the Lexington apartments and try her out. Kristina, you pick her up, and she is available I'm sorry, she's the one that's available in Lexington Apartments. So she is great. She speaks Russian. She has interesting conversations with you. She progresses naturally, looks good, fights really well in battles. Um, I definitely think she's an A tier. And I'm trying to remember which one, Darlene or so Darlene is Lexington, and uh, I can't remember which two, but these are both within the starting area and before you get to Diamond City. But their mods and everything, and I'll put down locations on where they're at down in the description below. Last one, S tier, Heather Casdin. Pick her up from the beginning as soon as you get a chance. Um, she is not in the starting area, but you can get to her really easily without fighting any battles that'll kill you as a starting character. So run over, grab her, and then bring her back to Sanctuary. She's close. I can't say this character makes the game worth playing. She's just incredible. Has incredible quests. She's strong in combat. She is as close to you get as the girlfriend experience if you actually play the game. Um, I don't think there's anything bad that could be said about Heather Casdin as a companion. Plus, she doesn't take up a slot, so you can run her with every other character on this screen. So if you want to run Heather and Dogmeat together, you can. Heather and Codsworth. You can run Heather and any other character in the game. Preston, Strong. She is basically designed from start to finish to be a companion that accompanies you the entire game, and she is well worth it. She also too sells you stuff. She that can heal you, that can act as drinks. Um, Better yet, she carries stuff for crafting. So if you're at a settlement and you don't have those two oil components that you need, she'll probably have it in her barter screen. Heather is exactly what a well-designed companion should look like. She does just about everything for you, including fight. She's funny and engaging to be around. She has her own great quest series, and if you're missing something, chances are she can sell it to you. So I can't say enough good things about Heather. And that's pretty much it for our ranking series here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate you being here. If you go ahead and like this, please subscribe. Thank you very, very much and have a great day.